Welcome. We are your hosts, Chris and Tammy.
In this podcast, we dive into the mindset for networking strategies and skills you'll need to build a solid foundation to build a global business.
We've built a multi-million-dollar business and have mentored thousands of people around the globe in the last 25 years.
I wanted to talk about habits tonight because I think this is a really, really important subject because we can't get rid of habits. We can only replace them, and in our mindset, in our actions. And I think this session is going to really help you open up a little bit about, maybe where you are right now with habits and where you want to be after this session. Every single time you get into a situation, you'll recognize some things that are holding you back. And the key is to recognize it and change it in that moment, whether it's a word or something you're saying about yourself or about others, is to recognize it and create that shift immediately. And then you'll notice that you start going into programming of new habits into your life. So the truth about habits, and we all know this, every single one of us know that we are programmed. We are programmed by birth. Think of all the things that your parents have said to you growing up, all of the things in your social environment, through church, through the school system, through family members, things that have been said that you've repeated over and over and over, and you start to program that into your life and into your DNA. And by the time you become an adult, often we don't even realize it. So it's important for us to dig up some of the past to realize what you brought into the future. And it's time to flip that coin. Because for things to change, for things to get better, for things to move forward, we need to recognize these things. Okay, so the three areas, mindset, beliefs, and actions. And we're going to talk about all three of those tonight. There's so much going on in our lives, in our mindsets, in our behaviors. And, sometimes we just get lost in all of this. And I know that the environment has made a huge impact on people's behaviors, mindsets, actions. So we're going to start with the mindset first. Because again, we are programmed from birth on what to think about. We tend to follow the patterns of people around us. And so anytime you're in a situation, ask yourself, what are you thinking about for you to be in that space? Whether it's debt, whether it's lack of time, whatever it is that you put out there for the reasons that you are where you are right now. And I really want to focus on business, because that's where we all need to take our skill sets and mindsets to another level. So let's do some exercises here. So I want you to write out everything that you can think of based on kind of a little bit of stuff that I've been sharing, that you think about yourself or speak about yourself, whether it's in front of a mirror, or maybe you're saying to other people. And this is about self right now. Okay, so what are some things that you think about yourself and speak about yourself? And do this exercise to find out what verbal or mindset habits that are holding you back. Because often we don't realize that it's something in the past that has been repeated to us that we've held on to, and we speak about moving forward. All right, so make another list of all the great habits that you're so proud of, because there's so many things I think that we don't give ourselves credit for, and we're constantly out there hustling. And I know I'm that type of personality. that I always want to do more. I always want to get out there. And sometimes I forget about the victories. Put a star beside the habits that you're so proud of, something that you've done recently. Write it down. Okay. And focus on, obviously, you want to focus on the good things, but you also have to look at some of the things that you need to improve on. Okay. So you need that balance. I think balance in life is really, really important. So make an intention to get better with the thoughts and the words that don't serve you. What can you tell yourself in the mirror when you look in the mirror? What are some positive things that you can say to yourself that will help you overcome some rejection? So write out the things that you're challenged with and create that positive around it. Take the time to do this. You're gonna see huge shifts when you start recognizing some of the things. And a lot of the time, these habits are not even yours. You'll realize that it's something you picked up along the way and you just adopted it and moved forward with it and just made it your own.
Yeah, when it comes to your mindset, and this is something that you have to be very, very mindful of, because we often underestimate what we think about and what is their dominant thought. This is something I had to work on big time. Is you may say, I want to build a big business in network marketing. I want to be able to do all of these things, and you're setting all these goals, but your thought and what you're thinking about, oh, it's too expensive. Oh, the inflation is too high. Oh, Canadians don't like this. Or these are all things that you have to be careful, because what your most dominant thought of what you focus on the most is unfortunately what you will be facing on a daily basis. So how do I work on this? Is the moment I see myself venturing into these negative thoughts that goes against what the goals are, you got to stop yourself. And what you have to do is the moment your mind is talking to you about these things, look on whatever side that little devil is and say, oh, thank you for sharing, and move on. In other words, you are irrelevant. You can talk, but you're not influencing me on that thought. This is when I really started shifting and training myself to catch myself, not getting caught up into the drama that keeps me exactly where I was.
So beliefs. And this is what we all need to do, because every single one of us has a cape. You know that, right? Every single one of us. Do you remember when we were kids? We knew we had superpowers. Like seriously, every single one of us, no matter what we did, all the cartoons we watched, we could imagine all of this stuff. And then we get into adulthood again, and everything is programmed. And we realize that whatever our income ends up being is who we are and what we have. And that's it. And people would not go beyond that. So how do we break these habits? Well, again, you got to go back into that childlike thinking and know that every single one of you can do anything that you truly desire. If you want to, you have to want to, right? And that's the key. So, we talk about beliefs. Let's go into some of the beliefs that I want to talk about when it comes to a business. So rate yourself right now on the beliefs about yourself and your capability in business, in earning potential, whatever it is for yourself moving forward, becoming a great leader, team builder, whatever it is that you desire to be, do, have, and all of, in the business. Write down some of these things beside that. So on a scale of 1 to 10, rate yourself. And then when it comes to the products, the more people you get on these products, what happens is you get emotional, because it's going to make a difference in people's lives. Okay, so team, when it has to do with team, are you high positive with team environment, about the team, the beliefs around your team, on a scale of 1 to 10, you need to rate that. Are you a team player? Right? That's the big one. because network marketing is about building teams. It's about elevating people. It's about service and company. What rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, and where you need to brush up on some of that thought process, and if you're ever challenged, always go up and talk to somebody in the leadership that can listen, obviously, and help you guide you on some things, depending on any situation, right? So the profession of network marketing, that's got to be the biggest one. The fear of other people, what they think of it. And the truth is they don't understand it, or they may have had a bad experience, because I've had lots of conversations with people who have been in the profession. And then we get talking about their experience. Then I get talking about, well, how much time did you actually put into it? And then we got into, in that time that you put into it, how many people did you connect to? And what was your experience with all that? And then by the end of that conversation, interesting enough, they had said that they really didn't give it 100%. And if they would have, they probably would have had a different result. So these are the conversations that you'd have with people, if you're connecting with them and they didn't have a good experience with network marketing. And never make a judgment call on your experience in this profession compared to other people. Spend time to build your belief around that. Compensation plan, same thing. A lot of people don't know the comp plan. If you believe you could do it and you saw the comp plan, you wouldn't sleep. And so we've got lots of opportunity here. So work on your beliefs. So going into actions, what's really important is to know your habits around the actions. And I think a lot of us know our habits around our actions. And if you don't, it's, again, you want to go back and do an exercise around that. Time is no excuse. So write down your daily actions from the morning you wake up until you go to bed, and find out where you can put some 15-minute slots in there where you could do the money-making activities of connecting with people, obviously inviting to have a look at some information, and so simple with the boards. And then invite them to a presentation, invite them to have a connection with your sponsor, your leader. And from there, it's a decision making. So you have time to do this. I can tell you that. And so once you write out your day, I want you to put an S or an NS beside everything that you wrote down in your day. Okay, so if it is not serving, then what can you do to replace it so you can move forward in your actions, in everything that you have written down on your schedule. Okay, so S for serving you, and it doesn't go. Not serving you, what can you replace? Where you are right now and in your actions, what are your daily habits that you're doing every single day from the moment you wake up till you go to bed? Create a schedule that's going to serve you well, and that's going to serve you to get to another level in your health, in your business, in your team building, in your relationships, all of that. So that was our training this evening. Couple of things that I put out there. We were talking about how many people actually show up early and who shows up late. Showing up on time is showing up late. People should be early so that they're prepared, so that they have everything lined up. So that's very, very important. These are things that we all need to focus on. So yeah, often when I don't feel like talking to people, but I know I have to get things done, to have that sense of accomplishment that I wanted to do in that day that's on my schedule. I'll do it through sending information rather than giving them a call. And then when I feel better, I'll just call them up and just mention that I sent them some information. Did they have a chance to have a look at it?
And I can really relate. On Sunday, I mean, I was in this mode where I will indulge things that I know my wife totally does not agree on, but I will just watch TV, eat bad food. And I'm not saying you need to do that. I'm just saying that in my case, yesterday, I was just absolutely like a couch potato, literally. And I felt good. And I felt relaxed and rested. And this morning I woke up and I was so productive. So my message here is give yourself permission to completely, unplug and do whatever it is that you want to do, opposed to force yourself all the time every day. Because if you're constantly under pressure, always pushing, you get to a point where you crack. You just, it's not good. So sometimes you need to give yourself permission to unplug, but just remember that you need to replug eventually, but it's totally, totally okay to do that.